This is going to be your second call for senior showmanship. Second call for senior showmanship. Our judge is here. We are on schedule. So as soon as you can make your way to the ring, we can get started. All right, we're about 2 minutes till. We're going to go ahead and get started on to get the senior showmanship coming. So let's go ahead so we can get started by 8 o'clock. Our Judge Lane Egger from Columbus is here this morning. He's in here ready to roll. Okay, it is 8 o'clock and we're ready to start the hog show. We did have a little problem with the speaker in the barn, so we're going to go ahead and call senior showmanship. First class senior showmanship to the ring. welcome everyone to the Washington County Fair Hog Show this morning. We're getting the hogs up here to start our first class of senior showmanship. Want to make notice of, we got several announcements today, but we'll get into more of them when we get later in the show. Okay, our first class of senior showmanship is entering the ring. We're going to call second class 1B, second class of senior showmanship to the ring. Call for second class of senior showmanship to the ring. And while we're getting started, I know you guys are busy back there in the barns. We do need your packets turned in for the auction tomorrow. Either get them to myself or Buck Hoyer, or turn them into the Fair Board office over here up to 1 hour after the show today.
Well, Well, good morning, everybody. Certainly excited to be here in Arlington, and I think there's a good group here to start the senior showmanship division, and it's a great way to start the show, I believe, here. The young gentleman right here will be the one that comes third out of this class, and I ain't going to put him in a pin just because I think he needs to grab another gear, and he needs to go, and I thought he came in well, but after that, he just didn't cover enough turf for me, but I still think he did an awesome job. The other two exhibitors out here maybe just need to have a little bit more control of their pig, and that's not necessarily their fault. They're just maybe wanting to get up and go on him a little bit, calm down a little bit here now, but showmanship's throughout the entire process, and they came in a little quick for me. But let's give all these kids a nice round of applause. We got two to work back here in the next final drive.
Results of the first class of senior showmanship. Purple ribbons to Cole Booth. Purple ribbon also to Addison Warner. Blue ribbons, Jacob Beans, Levi Blackford, Sarah Crawford, and Madison Stoddard. Our second class of senior showmanship is in entering the ring. If you could please bring your third class of senior showmanship to the ring. Third class of senior showmanship to the ring.
Well, I think all these kids here in the second heat do a very good job in terms of control, and I guess there was a pair of young ladies that gave me a little bit extra in terms of eye contact, in terms of the views they did, and staying in front of me and maintaining a constant pace. These two exhibitors out here did an awesome job. Let's give them a round of applause as they head back to the barn.
Results of Class 2 Senior Showmanship. Purple ribbon to Ella Booth. Purple ribbon also to Hannah Mackey. Blue ribbon to Lainey Hoyer. Blue to Hudson Newberg. Blue to Kyle Quinn. And a blue to Haley Scroggins. Okay, we're ready for the third class of Senior Showmanship. After this class, we will go ahead and pick first, second, and third in the senior division showmanship. So I am going to go ahead and call first class of intermediate showmanship to the ring. First call for intermediate showmanship to the ring.
well, a little bigger class here, and so we went ahead and grabbed 3 at the top end. And I think that speaks to the quality that those 3 individuals have and the way that they can handle and maintain their pig. The other 4 exhibitors out here are doing an awesome job. Maybe just don't necessarily have control, and their pig maybe wants to get up and go on them a little bit. But maintaining good eye contact and trying to stay involved here with the pig. But sometimes your partner doesn't necessarily want to work with you, and so that's just the way it goes sometimes. Let's give those exhibitors a nice round of applause left out here in the ring, and we'll go ahead and get you a champion over here in the senior showmanship division.
Results of third class of senior showmanship. Purple ribbon to Alexis Warner, purple ribbon to Ruby Booth, and a purple also to Tyler Thompson. Blue ribbon in the last class, blue ribbon to Luke Velocic. Brody Wilkins got a blue, Hunter Camusine got a blue, and Oliver Lattimore got a blue. At this time, we're picking our top 3. Washington County Bank is here to present the 3 cash awards for the senior for champion, reserve, and an honorable mention in showmanship, for senior showmanship. Let's give Washington County Bank a round of applause for supplying that.
Well, I think this is an awesome senior showmanship division. Let's give all these exhibitors out here in the ring a nice round of applause for doing an awesome job out here. I was told to get a grand in reserve and an honorable mention, and I think that's pretty hard to do out here, and I think that speaks to the qualities that these individuals have and the way that they can maintain their pig and use the ring and understand where I'm at, and they all do an awesome job with that. And so finding 3 was a bit difficult for me. I guess the one that's going to be third and the honorable mention is going to be the peach pig over here on my right. The young lady does an awesome job. Just today, that one wanted to work up on her a little bit, get a little hard, and when she came out of the gate, that one headed straight for that corner over there, and that's the way it goes sometimes. She brought him back out here, and she got him showing, and she gave him a little bit more slack, and I think that's where she worked her way back up in the third. Very awesome job. She does a very good job. Maybe her partner just didn't want to work with her today. The grand and reserve guys, I think they both do an awesome job in their own right. The young lady over here on my far left, you're going to go ahead and be reserve, and I think you do an awesome job. And in terms of the angles you give, I maybe need to see you just grab another gear, and I think that's where your champion's going to go ahead and get you today. But with that said, I still like your presence, your overall focus, and the eye contact you have to offer. And I guess young man is going to be the champion over here on my left, and I think he does an awesome job. Maybe wanting to give up on him a little bit right now, but that's all right, because I think when he came out of his gate, the focus and the intensity that he offers just my kind. And if any of you young kids are watching back there, pay attention to what he does, because I like that kind of the focus that he has and that kind of drive. He does a very good job. Let's give all those senior exhibitors a nice round of applause. They head back to the bar, and we'll start working through this intermediate division.
Champion senior showmanship goes to Cole Booth, reserve to Alexis Booth, and third to Ella Booth. Excuse me, my fault. Reserve went to Alexis Warner. Cole Booth will be the representative for the round robin showmanship, which happens this afternoon at 2 o'clock right here in this arena. Okay, our first class intermediate showmanship is entering the ring. Let's go ahead and bring your second class of intermediate showmanship to the ring.
Well, we went ahead and grabbed 3 young ladies out of this first drive here in the intermediate division, and I think just the way they came into the ring is what did it for me on them. They offered good eye contact, they offered good intensity, and then when I turned around, they were always showing, and they were giving me good angles, and so that's why I think those 3 ended up catching a pin over there. A few more out here that do an awesome job. Again, it's a part of the fair where they just maybe want to work up and take off on you, and that's a part of it. But all these kids out here in the ring are doing an awesome job. Let's give them a nice round of applause as they head back to the barn.
Results of the first class of intermediate showmanship. Purple ribbon to Avery Kamazine. Purple also to Charlie Hoyer. And purple also to Adeline Hildenkamp. Blue ribbon to Melanie Gondringer, Johnny Hinton, Peyton Hageman, Henry Vlasic, and Nathan Wilkins. Okay, your second class of intermediate showmanship is entering the ring. We'll go ahead and call junior showmanship to the ring. Junior showmanship to the ring. Just for information too, up there in the corner of the grandstand, we have a camera that the Blair radio station has generously donated, and they are live streaming this on YouTube. So if you have people that are at home and couldn't get out or whatever, you can let them know that it is on YouTube. If you have any questions, Kelly, would you raise your hand? Kelly's over here from Blair radio station. Let's give Blair radio station a round of applause for doing that for us, for all that. They've done it for every show, and it's quite an honor to have that.
Well, we switched it up a little bit from the first heat, and instead of 3 young ladies, we grabbed 3 young gentlemen out here that I think do an awesome job in terms of maintaining control. And I think those guys did an awesome job coming in the ring, awesome intensity, awesome eye contact that they offered, and I'm pretty excited when we start working back towards this final drive. The exhibitors out here in the ring, I think they all do a really good job in terms of maintaining control. Maybe just need a little bit more eye contact, a little bit more intensity, but that's okay. I think they do an awesome job getting their pig represented still. Maybe just a few other extras that are going to keep them from out of that purple ribbon side of things. Let's give those exhibitors in the ring a nice round of applause as they head back to the barn.
Results of second class of intermediate showmanship. Purple to Isaiah Roward. Purple ribbon also to Owen Ladahoff. And purple ribbon to Bert Quinn. Receiving blue ribbons were Madison Martin. Brock Warner, Grady Wilkins also received a blue, and Brock Loritzen received a blue, and Forrest Ewing received a blue. So we're here in the final drive of intermediate showmanship, and the top 3 again, just like we did in the seniors, and Washington County Bank will be presenting money to the first, second, and third places.
Well, let's give all these intermediate showmanship exhibitors a nice round of applause. I think they do an awesome job out here. And I guess speaking to the quality in the senior division, I think these 6 individuals out here, I think they could run with the group of 9, I think, or 8 or 9 that we had earlier, just as easy. I think all these kids do an awesome job out here. I guess working back up, 3 through 1 here. Young lady on the far side with that red belted pig, you're going to go ahead and be 3rd. I thought you did a really good job in terms of your eye contact, really consistent. Maybe didn't have the intensity that I'm looking for, but that's okay because your calm, cool, collected style may fit to another judge another day. I think Grandin Reserve's awfully close here between you 2 young gentlemen, and I guess really what it's going to come down to is I think one's maybe lasted the drive a little bit longer, and I think he also, when he came in the ring, his eye contact, his presence of my champion was very, very good, and he understood where I was at. He showed some angles, and maybe while I'd like to have him grab another gear, I still think he's just the best one today. The reserve was extremely consistent, and I think you really appreciate that about him, and he was certainly pushing my champion pretty hard until his pig maybe wanted to break out on him a little bit, and that's okay, guys. It's a part of the fair. Young man right here, you're going to go ahead and be reserve. Young man right here driving at me, you're going to be champion. Let's give all these exhibitors out here a nice round of applause.
So the results of intermediate showmanship, champion goes to Isaiah Roward, reserve goes to Forrest Ewing, and 3rd place goes to Adlin Hildenkamp. While we're in between classes here. Kendall Forson, would you raise your hand? Kendall's here from Washington County Bank. Let's give Washington County Bank a round of applause for that cash donation they do for every class of the showmanship. Okay, your first class of junior showmanship is in the ring. Let's go ahead and call second class of junior showmanship to the ring.
Well, I guess this is where the fun begins. I love working with kids this age because this is what it's all about. And you work into that Pee Wee division or the Clover Kid division. These young kids, it's a lot of fun, and maybe they're not to the level that a couple of the seniors or those intermediates are, but that's okay because I think there's still two young ladies that we got pinned over here that do an awesome job. The other gentleman and the young lady out here in the ring, they do an awesome job out here as well. And maybe their pigs are just wanting to grab an extra gear on them, and that's okay. We're feeling pretty good here this morning, and that's good for us. So let's give these exhibitors a nice round of applause as they head back to the ring. Awesome first heat.
Results of first class of junior showmanship. First purple went to Brielle Hillenkamp. Purple also to Jenica Hinton. Blue ribbon to Eli Hageman. Blue ribbon also to Addison Larson, Brant Laritzen, and Haley Grab all received blue ribbons also. Okay, there is one more class of junior showmanship. If you're keeping track in your program, we do have an added entry of Iris Booth on the junior class showmanship.
well, we went ahead and grabbed 2 more out of this second heat, and I thought those 2 young ladies came in with an awesome intensity and an awesome drive about them, and so they caught a pin pretty quick. These kids out here in the ring, honestly, I think they do a very good job in terms of maintaining eye contact, staying pretty calm, cool, and collected. Maybe just need their pigs to grab another gear and keep them out in front of me a little bit more, but that's okay. I think as you young kids progress a little bit and get a little further along in this project, I think you guys are in the right direction to take the right next steps. So let's give these kids a nice round of applause left here in the ring, and we'll get you a champion junior showman over here.
Results of Class 2 Junior Showmanship, purple ribbon to Oakley Sheets and a purple ribbon to Iris Booth. Blue ribbon to Grady Grab, Ella Quinn, Grace Camazine, and Holden Shear. At this time, we'll be selecting your top 3 showmanship for junior showmanship, and then we will go into Clover Kid showmanship. Clover Kid showmanship. Okay, there's just one class of Clover Kid showmanship. At this time, we're going to call Class 1 lightweight breeding gilts to the ring. Class 1 lightweight breeding gilts to the ring.
Well, let's give a round of applause for these 4 young ladies out here in the junior division doing an awesome job. Like I said, I think these girls are doing a great job out here, and what caught them in a pin was just being able to maintain control of their pig, offer some eye contact, and those are the things that just cover the basics, showmanship. And I think at this age, that's what you really need to do, and there's maybe a couple of them out here that stack on a couple of the extras in terms of presence, in terms of presentation, and keeping consistency about their drive. And so that's where they're going to go ahead and work their way up. The young lady right here, you're going to go ahead and be 3. I think you did an awesome job out here. Your tempo was good. You maybe got lost a couple of times here and there, but that's okay for this age. I think you'll find that going forward. Did a really good job in terms of eye contact. Maybe just need to focus a little bit more in terms of where your pig's going, hit the gaps a little bit better, but that's certainly an awesome drive by you and your own right here. Young lady on the far side, you're going to go ahead and be reserved. That girl just maybe wanted to give out on you a little bit, but I love the way you entered the ring. You did an awesome job in terms of your presence, in terms of your eye contact, and that focus that you have. I really appreciate that about you. Your partner maybe wanted to give out on you a little bit today. Young lady over here on my right with the moderate barra, he's going to go ahead and be your champion, and she does an awesome job out here. The moment she hit the ring, I knew she was here to win, and that was the thing I felt pretty comfortable about with this division. When she came in the ring, her eye contact, her presence, and the consistency of her drive, she was my champion today, and I think she did an awesome job. Let's give all these exhibitors a nice round of applause and an awesome junior showmanship division.
Results of the junior showmanship, receiving the cash award from the Washington County Bank champion went to Iris Booth. Reserve junior showman went to Oakley Sheets, and 3rd went to Brielle Hillenkamp. Entering the ring is our Clover Kid showmanship. We have
Well, we only got the one Clover kid out here, and Emerson's doing an awesome job, and I think he's having a blast out here, even though his pants maybe don't want to stay up, but that's okay. I think he did an awesome job, and his Big Oreo's out here working well with him. Let's give Emerson a nice round of applause. His future's bright for the kid, and I'm pretty excited to see him going forward.
Results of Clover Kid showmanship, ribbon placing goes to Emerson Larson. Okay, we're ready for Class 1, lightweight breeding gilts. Should be 4 gilts in the class.
Well, I think a great way to start the breeding gilt show off here, and the young ladies red belted gilt's going to go ahead and win. I think that one in terms of center body mass and cage and just overall dimension overwhelms the other 3 out here. With that said, you'd maybe like to see her shot square about her hock and lengthen her out a little bit, but I think she's the one for me that just goes ahead and wins due to her just overall center body. The young man's Hereford gilt over here is going to go ahead and be second. I think one, just in terms of structural integrity, is going to go ahead and be the one that I think just falls next in line. She stays better out of her hip, she stays better out of her hind leg, and really I think what it comes down to, she ties neater there on the top side of her neck. Now, certainly these other 2 gilts out here offer some different parts and pieces, and I think they're both good in their own right and offer some similarities, I guess probably more than they are different. I'm going to go ahead and use the young man over here on the left. She's a little bit sharper headed, a little neater about her jawline, and probably one that comes at you a little bit softer in terms of her front posture, and I think that just allows her to relax more in the blade of her, and the angle of her blade. Young lady's Burke gilt's one that's certainly nice. Just need to see that one a little bit better out of her hind leg, just be a little bit more fluent, maybe carrying an injury there in her back right hock, but certainly one I think as that one gets bigger and maybe heals up a little bit, has some nice kind of pieces to be a nice kind of female. All right, let's give those 4 exhibitors a nice round of applause, and we'll go ahead and jump into this next class.
Results of Class 1 lightweight breeding gilts. First purple went to Ella Booth. Second purple went to Isaiah Brower. Blue ribbon to Owen Ladahoff. And blue ribbon also to Melanie Gonrigger, also received a blue ribbon. Okay, Class 2 middleweight breeding gilts are entering the ring. We're going to go ahead and call I'm going to go ahead and call Class 3 heavyweight breeding gilts to the ring.
Young man on my right here goes ahead and handles this division pretty easily for me. I think one that combines the balance and the extras that you need, and yet does that in a package in terms of structural integrity that's unmatched out here. Her hind leg is one that probably just stays the squarest and the truest of the remaining options out here that I guess we had contention as a class winner. And with that said, you'd maybe like to see her a shot better in terms of the shape of her skull, a shot more feminine there, but I think her overall density and feature matches with everything. I think that's just a nice place to start there. The young man's blue gilt over here in the middle of the ring is going to go ahead and be second. And I guess really I would really like to change her node back there and clean that up a little bit and give her a shot more center body. But with that said, when you watch that one come at you and you watch that one go away from you, I think she's just the next best one in terms of her hind leg. I think she stays square. She offers a very good rib shape, a very good body shape about her, and a good turn, and yet does that with some extension and a feminine look and some added feature. The young man right here is going to go ahead and be 3. I think that's a really nice female. You know, her front through her front 3/4. Where I need to change that one when she drives directly away from you. I need to see that one square and a shot longer about her hip. And with that said, I'd like to see her just sit down and shot more substance of bone. You know, one you really appreciate up high, and the young man does a really good job showing her. Just need to see that one shot stouter and shot square. The rest of them out here, I think are just good females in their own right in terms of structural quality. I just need to see more of them, man. I need to see them more pulled apart. They all offer some good pieces, and I think they'll still be good kind of females for those exhibitors when they take them home and get them in the crates. Let's give all these kids a nice round of applause, and we'll go ahead and work through your next senior or your heavyweight division here.
Results of Class 2 middleweight breeding guilds. First purple went to Isaiah Rahr. Purple ribbon also to Madison Stoddard. And a purple ribbon to Tyler Thompson. Blue ribbons to Haley Scroggins, Brant Lauritsen, Melanie Godringer, Brock Lauritsen, and Allison Larson, all receiving blue ribbons in the second class of breeding guilds. Entering the ring is our heavyweight breeding guilds, third class of heavyweight breeding guilds. At this time, I'll also announce after this class we will be picking champion and reserve champion commercial breeding guild.
Well, I think we got a nice set of 4 up here on the top end, I guess, per se. And with that said, I still think there's one that goes ahead and wins for the boys and I pretty easy. The blue-eyed gilt, mask gilt right here is going to go ahead and win. I think when that one hit the ring, ultra good about her chest floor, ultra good about her knee. And with that, she follows that with a really nice kind of rib cage and soft kind of center body laid into her. And when she leaves you, do I necessarily want to see her maybe a shot more there in terms of her pin set? Maybe a shot cleaner there in terms of her lower seam, sure, but I think for a breeding female, that's one that's awfully nice and needs to go ahead and win this class for us. The young lady on the far side there is going to go ahead and be second. I think one that offers a little bit more length of body and stretch and extension, and I appreciate that about her. With that, I think she comes with one that offers a little bit square hind leg, one that offers a little bit more in terms of freshness there through the center part of her body, and just her lower portion of her body I think is better than the one that's going to go ahead and be third. Now, would you like to change that one coming at you and square up about her knees? Sure, but I still think that's one you really appreciate for that. Young lady, for the longest time, you were the one that I had in second here, and I guess when I got up behind you, I just need to see that one more secure about her hop. I need to see that one better about her hip-loin junction, and when she comes at you, she's certainly one that maybe wants to labor a little bit more out of her shoulder, but you really appreciate that one for the skull shape and the overall chest that she has to offer. She's pretty good in there in terms of her cage and offers a good turn to her center body. Just need to see her change in a few places there. Young lady over here is going to go ahead and be 4, and does that one necessarily stick out in terms of skin and hair and presentation for you? No, but I think one that's just fundamentally very solid. And I guess the reason she's going to end up in 4 of those because I need to see more of her. I need to see her more pulled apart about her chest, and when she leaves you, I need to see that one sit down on a stouter rear leg. But with that said, from this angle I get right here, you really appreciate just how well she balances up and ties together and allows her hind leg just to flex. I think a really nice group of 4 up top, really nice class here. We'll go ahead and get you a champion and breeding gilt after this class here, but let's give all these exhibitors a nice round of applause.
Results of Class 3 heavyweight breeding gilts. Purple ribbon to Alexis Warner. Purple ribbon to Charlie Hoyer. Purple ribbon to Adeline Hildkamp. Purple ribbon also to Oakley Sheets. Blue ribbon to Madison Larson and Jacob Means. While a judge is selecting the champion breeding gilt, there is also a added money prize to the breeding gilt. It's $200 for champion and $100 for reserve, and it will be awarded before the auction on Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock. So whoever wins the champion breeding gilt will need to be at the auction before 3 o'clock to receive their check, champion and reserve.
Well, let's give a round of applause to these 6 exhibitors out here. I think they're gilts that offer a lot of quality and should be good for these exhibitors going forward or wherever they land back up with when these exhibitors are done with them. I guess it comes down to a pair of them, and I guess guess I should introduce Briggs and Kate out here. They're two boys that we show with quite a bit, and they do an awesome job. And so I respect their opinion, even though they may be a little bit younger than me, quite a good deal. But with that said, I still get the final say on this one. And even with that said, all three of us agreed on the one that we needed to win. And I guess what's going to separate our top two is just the overall, our champion has just overall just stouter, just a bigger form, a bigger hind leg, and with that, she uses that in a better manner. And the reserves one you really appreciate for her sharpness ahead, and I guess that's where it probably made it a little bit closer for us, but I think the one we land on as our champions, this young man right here in front of me, young lady over here, you're going to go ahead and be reserved. Let's congratulate those two on a really nice pair of gills.
Champion breeding gilt goes to Isaiah Roberts, and reserve goes to Alexis Warner. They will both need to be at the auction tomorrow before the auction starts at 3 o'clock to receive their check for $200 and $100 for champion and reserve. Okay, we're ready for the Market Barrows. Class 4 progressive weight Market Barrows are entering the ring. Class 4, we would call Class 5 progressive Market Barrows to the ring. Class 5 progressive weight Market Barrows to the ring.
We go ahead and jump in here into the progressive barrow division, and the black-headed barrow goes ahead and wins here for fun. And I really appreciate that one through his front 3 quarters. His overall sharpness and presentation and freshness of shape that he has to offer. He comes at you good through his chest floor. You maybe like to see him use his rear pasture a little bit better, but I still think that's the one that we go ahead and land on here in this class particularly. The young lady here on my right is going to go ahead and be second, and I guess what he offers today in terms of just extra cage and just a little bit extra pin set mentioned is why he's going to go ahead and land in second. Is that one's hind leg necessarily perfect? No, but with that, I still think he offers the next most in terms of stoutness and added feature. The other 3 out here are nice in their own right. They offer some good future for these young exhibitors. I just need to see more of them today. And with that said, they're at the weight where they got plenty of room to grow and plenty of ways to go. And so I think the future's still bright for these kids. Keep them on feed, and I think they'll turn out pretty all right for you kids. But let's give these exhibitors a nice round of applause. Really solid class here to go ahead and start off the market show.
Results of Class 4 progressive weight Market Barrows. First purple went to Cole Booth. Second purple went to Allison Larson. Blue ribbon to Holden Shear. Blue ribbon also to Holden Shear. And blue ribbon to Madison Larson. And the Brody Wilkins was a scratch in this class. Okay, class 5 progressive weight market barrows. They're it. There should be 7 folks in this class.
Young lady here right in front of me is going to go ahead and win this second class in the prospect division, and I think one you really appreciate for the sharpness of lower jaw that one has, and yet he still matches it with some extra skull shape and some stoutness of feature and some bone work when you get up underneath him. And I guess probably where he's going to go ahead and beat the one in second for me. And I think he has just a little bit better shape up high and matches that with a little bit better upper hip and just offers a little bit more today. And I guess that's the way I'm going to pick him a little bit more today, is just the way I see him currently, and not necessarily as far as they're going to be down the road. Now with that one, you need to clean that one's rear hock a little bit. He's got a little swelling, a little fluid on it, but I still think that's the one I go ahead and land on today. The young lady over here driving right at me with the black-headed speckled back one right there is going to go ahead and be second. I think that's just the next fault-free one of the drive. He offers some shape. He offers some spread. I need to see that one stouter in terms of his skull shape. I need to see that one stouter in terms of his form and in terms of his hind leg as well. I just need to see more of that one in terms of his lower skeleton. Very good up high. Just got to see more down low in order to balance that one up. Young man there on the far side, you're going to go ahead and be 3, and where you're going to get sliding the third here is strictly through your front 2/3. I really appreciate the cage and body and chest that one offers. It's when you get behind that one and you watch him drive away from you. He's a little too short out of his hip and wants to push and roll out of his hock. I need to see that one square, but I think that one warranted a purple ribbon today just for the extra body and rib cage that one had to offer. The other exhibitors out here, not to necessarily beat a dead horse here, but they just need to see more of them. I think as they get on feet and they get growing and they get going along for these exhibitors to future shows, I think they could fill out to be some nice kind of market hogs for them just today. I need to see them more pulled apart. Let's give those exhibitors in this class a nice round of applause. They're really solid way to end the progress division.
Results of Class 5 progressive weight market barrows. First purple went to Alexis Warner. Second purple to Iris Booth. Third purple to Oliver Ladahoff. Purple blue ribbons to Hannah Mackey. Blue ribbon to Jameson Hinton. Blue ribbon to Grady Wilkins. And a blue ribbon also to Hunter Camazine. Entering the ring now will be your pigs competing for champion and reserve champion progressive weight barrel. At this time, I would call Class 6 lightweight barrels to the ring. Class 6 lightweight barrels to the ring.
Well, I think a really good progressive barrow division, prospect barrow division here, if you may. And let's give these 4 exhibitors out here a nice round of applause. I think all of these offers are good. I guess in my short discussion with the boys over there was a pair of them that we landed on pretty quick. And I guess just in terms of their overall just completeness and structure and maybe having a little bit more today, I think those are just the 2 that we felt the most comfortable on. The 2 out of the last class are going to go ahead and be your grand reserve. Let's give those exhibitors a nice round of applause.
Champion progressive lightweight barrel goes to Alexis Warner, and reserve champion progressive barrel goes to Iris Booth. Okay, we're ready for Class 6 lightweight market barrels in the ring. We're going to call Class 7 lightweight market barrels to the ring. All right, we're getting ready to start the lightweight barrels. Let's give your committee. I got 3 of them standing over here for the alt committee. I got Chris Booth and Mike Mackey and Mary Hildenkamp. And Josh Grab is also around here too. Let's give this committee a round of applause for having a lot of hugs here on the show.
Well, we went ahead and gave 4 purples in this first lightweight class, and I think that speaks to the quality that these individuals out here. And with that said, I still think there's one that goes ahead and wins this deal pretty easily for us. The black-headed bear right here. That's the one we land on rather quickly. Ultra good in terms of his presentation, sharp-headed, good neck. One that you really appreciate for his ability to just flex out and cover the ring. And yet he does that with enough for us today. Is he necessarily the sharpest back one out here? No. But I still think just in terms of all the positive he's put together for the weight that he's at, I think that's the one that we just go ahead and land on. Now maybe 2, 3, and 4 got a little bit closer, but I'm going to go ahead and put the guy over here on my left in second. That's one, you know, laid back. You really appreciate for the cage and upper hip that one has to offer. Is he necessarily maybe the one to show the best today? No, but I appreciate his stoutness. I appreciate his overall just feature that he has to offer. Now with that said, I do need to change him in terms of the way that he ties into the top side of his neck. Would like to see him a little bit sharper there, but I really appreciate the cage and hind leg that one has to offer. 3 and 4 is necessarily whatever you want to do here in terms of coin flip. One's a little bit better in terms of feet and legs. The other one just offers a little bit more center body and a little bit turn to that one's center rib. I'm going to go ahead and go with the one that offers a little bit more today, the young lady in third. The gentleman right here in fourth, you really appreciate from the side. It's just when you get behind that one, he gets a little too concave and too flat about his forerib. I just need to see more in terms of his lower body there. But still just a really nice kind of barrow there to round out the class. Let's give all those exhibitors a nice round of applause on a great way to start the Market Barrow Show.
Results of Class 6, lightweight Market Barrows. Purple ribbon goes to Tyler Thompson. Second purple to Brody Wilkins. Third purple to Ruby Booth. And purple ribbon also to Owen Ladahoff. Okay, we're ready for Class 7, lightweight Market Barrows to the ring. At this time, we would call, and at conclusion of this class, we will pick our champion lightweight Market Barrow. So I would make this first call for Class 8 middleweight Market Barrows. First call, Class 8 middleweight Market Barrows.
things maybe get a little bit more PC in the second class here, and I'm not necessarily going to probably lay into the true show bearer of the drive, but I think the one that fundamentally just does the most for me is the young man right there with the belted barrel. One you really appreciate for the way that one blends together in terms of his forerib. The cage that one offers is very good in the way that he ties into his center body, and when you get behind those top three, I guess, that we're going to have out here, he's the one that stays true, the truest about his hock, and yet does that with the stoutest hind leg and the biggest forearm as well. 2 and 3 get a little bit closer between the two young ladies that do an awesome job showing out here. I guess the next one I feel the most comfortable in is the young lady over there in the corner. One that you really appreciate for the shape and the overall dimension that one has to offer when you watch him come at you. But with that said, I need to see that one stouter at the ground. I need to see that one pieced together just a little bit there behind his shoulder, and one that you really appreciate for the shape that it has to offer. But I think that probably works to its detriment here just a little bit in terms of its top line. Young lady, I really like the front 2/3 of this one quite a bit, and I think if you level that one's hip out and you offer that one just to reach out and go, I think that probably fixes the issue in terms of the way that one's loin sets into her. But I guess the biggest issue with that one is when I get away or get behind her and watch that one go away, I need to see that one square. And of those two ahead of her, she's probably the frailest at the surface. I just need to see that one a shot stouter there, but one that looks like sped well for the young lady. The other two out here, they're in their own right, nice kind of pigs that, offered a good practical body type. I just needed to see maybe a few things change in terms of their structure, and maybe just need to see a shot more of them in terms of shape and overall presentation. But still a really nice class here. Let's give all these exhibitors a nice round of applause.
Results of Class 7 lightweight marker barrels. Purple ribbon to Hayden Hageman. Purple ribbon to Oakley Sheets. Purple ribbon to Charlie Hoyer. Blue ribbon to Ella Quinn. And blue ribbon also to Mason Rezak Meads. So at this time we have 4 barrels out here competing for champion lightweight market barrel. And then after this we will go into Class 8 middleweight market barrels. Class 8 middleweight market barrels. Follow this class.
Well, I think a really good first barrel drive here, and I guess what we're trying to land on here is just the right kind of pieces and the right kind of parts that we like over here. And when you can stack the extras on top of that, that's when this gets pretty fun. And I think there's one out here that does that, and it's a really, really nice level. And I think there's another one out here that just was really good in terms of his basics, and maybe didn't offer the extras that our champion's going to be. But with that said, I still think they're two pigs, very nice pigs in their own right. The one with a little bit more for us today is this one right here. He'll go ahead and be your champion, young man over here in the corner. Now the second class is going to go ahead and be reserved. Let's congratulate those two exhibitors on a really nice start to this Crossbred Barrel Show.
Champion lightweight market barrel goes to Tyler Thompson. Reserve champion lightweight barrel goes to Eli Hageman. Okay, we're ready for Class 8 middleweight market barrows. Go ahead and bring Class 9 middleweight market barrows to the ring.
to get warm today, so we're going to try to work through these as quick as possible. And our class winner's starting to necessarily fight the young man over here on our right, but I think that's the one that needs to win. He offers good show barrel proportions. He offers a really nice fresh back into him, and maybe while I'd like to see him a little bit more youthful blade forward, I still think his overall feature and stoutness is what's going to go ahead and win this class. Sure, he maybe needs to be a shot stronger about his front foot and leave us a shot square about his rear hock, but I still think that's the one that you need to go ahead and land on here as your class winner. Over here on my left with the belted barrel is going to go ahead and be second. One that you really just appreciate for the practicality that one has to offer. And basically what it comes down to with him, he maybe just didn't have as much as our class winner, but with that said, he does fix our class winner in a couple areas in terms of the way that he handles his hind leg and the way that he handles his front foot. Maybe not as sharp about his edges, maybe not as overwhelming in terms of his feature, but I still think that's a really nice place to go ahead and be second. The solid white barrel is going to go ahead and be third here. Another one that's pretty fault-free about his kind, and maybe it's just the white that's going to get him the day, but one you appreciate just for his overall build that he offers, and still offers some shape and still offers some spread. I need to see that one stouter at the ground, see that one a little bit sharper blade forward comparatively to the two ahead of him, but still just really nice kind of practical center body laid into that one. The other three out here are three that in their own right offer some nice kind of pieces, offer some structure, offer some stoutness of feature. Maybe need to tweak them in a place or two in terms of the way that they use their hind leg. And probably the biggest thing it comes down to with all three of them is I just need to see them more pulled apart. But with that, I still think it's a really solid class here. Let's congratulate all these exhibitors.
Results of Class 8 middleweight market barrows. Purple ribbon goes to Cole Booth. Purple ribbon also to Brock Warner. Purple ribbon to Forrest Ewing. Blue ribbon to Hadley Grab. Blue ribbon to Henry Velasic. And a blue ribbon to Burt Quinn. Okay, Class 9 middleweight market barrows is entering the ring. We'll call Class 10 middleweight market barrows to the ring. Class 10 middleweight market barrows to the ring. Class 9 middleweight market barrows are in the ring. Calling Class 10 middleweight market barrows to the ring. Class 10 middleweight market barrows to the ring.
Well, I guess the decision for me was between second and third, because this one over here on my right was pretty easily the winner in this class for us as he came into the ring. Is he necessarily the most overwhelming in terms of shape? Not necessarily, no, but I think the way that one proportions up and the way that one just comes together from the side and then still offers enough for us when we get behind him, I think that's the one that we just logically land on here rather quickly. It gets very close between second and third, and I guess what it's going to come down to for me is the one that probably just stays a shot square about his hind leg and comes at you with maybe a shot more chest and stays neater about his top line, and that's going to be the solid white barrel right here. He'll go ahead and be second. Now, don't get me wrong, I need to see that one fresher blade forward, and I'd like to see that one a lot more youthful about the top side of that one's neck, but I still think in terms of just overall build and structural integrity, I think that's just the next best place to lay. The one and third here is going to be one that you really appreciate for the shape and the upper hip and the stifle that one has to offer. I need to see that one level about his top. I need to see that one better about the way that he uses his hind leg and remains more square about that. And while I would like to say I'd like to see that one immature up there in second, this one I need to see better about his ear set and just probably about the same token of being more immature about his skull as well. But still one you appreciate for the added shape and the added mass that one has to offer. Let's give those exhibitors a nice round of applause. Really nice class here and great weight division.
Results of Class 9 middleweight marker barrows. Purple ribbon goes to Adeline Hiltkamp. Second purple to Forrest Ewing. Purple ribbon also to Charlie Hoyer. Blue ribbon to Johnny Hinton. Luke Velocic and Jacob Beans all receiving blue ribbons.
well, maybe not as easy class winner out here for us to say, but I still think there's one that that we land on just for the overwhelming mass and the overwhelming dimension that this one has to offer. And the young lady's belted bear right here. I'll be honest with you, young lady, that one's not necessarily truly my kind, just in the way that he leaves you. I need to see that one square, and I need to see that one sharper about his edges there in terms of his loin edge. But I think just in terms of productivity and overall mass, I think that's the one that you just got to land on. Young lady over here on my left that's doing an awesome job showing is going to go ahead and be second. One you really appreciate for how fresh that was is in terms of his center body. One that's better in terms of the way that he ties out of the top side of his neck and his jawline comparative to our class winner. But with that said, when I get behind that one right here, that one's too nondescript in terms of its upper hip shape, too nondescript in terms of its lower stifle, and one that I just need to see more pulled apart there when we get behind him. But still, the young lady did an awesome job getting that one presented and prepared today. The young lady over in the corner is going to go ahead and be three. I know that one didn't necessarily give out and get a good look for her, but she did an awesome job and giving an attempt to that one. And I guess just from this angle right here, that's one that's really practical about its center body, one that offers, enough width for us, and one that's pretty good about the top side of his neck. Now, sure, you'd like to change that one a little bit about his ear set, and one that you maybe give a little bit more turn in terms of his loin edge to, but I still think one that warranted a purple ribbon. The other two Hereford hogs out here are ones that are really practical in terms of their build, and honestly, where I told Briggs when they first walked in, they're not too bad in their own right. I think just the dividing quality was there between 3 and 4 and 5, and so they're going to go ahead and fall into the blue division today, but I take nothing away from those hogs. They're very practical in their build, ones that look like they fed for the gentleman very well. Let's give all the exhibitors in this class a nice round of applause. We're excited to get into this middleweight division here.
Purple ribbon in the last class to Brielle Hildenkamp. Purple ribbon also to Kingsley Kaknowski. Purple to Grayson Kamazine. Blue ribbon to Eli Hageman. And a blue ribbon also to Hudson Newberg. In the ring, we'll be selecting champion middleweight and reserve champion middleweight barrel. At this time, I'd call class 11 first class of heavyweight market barrels. First call, class 11 heavyweight market barrels.
Well, the boys and I are in agreement here in the middleweight division, and there's two out here that you really appreciate for their overall proportions and their build and feature that they have to offer. And with that said, there's one that stays better about its hind leg, and there's another one out here that offers a little bit more in terms of shape up high and a little bit turn to its center body there. But me, speaking personally here, I really like the build and presence of the black barrel right here to go ahead and be champion. The blue barrel right here is going to go ahead and be reserved. Let's give those exhibitors a nice round of applause on a really solid middleweight division here.
Not today, but
Champion middleweight market barrel goes to Adlin Hildenkamp, and reserve goes to Cole Booth. We are ready for class 11 heavyweight market barrels, class 11 heavyweight market barrels. At this time, we would call class 12 heavyweight market barrels to the ring. Class 12 heavyweight market barrels to the ring.
Well, the young man's Blueberry here on the far side is going to go ahead and win. And I think that's the one that you really appreciate from the side and the build that one offers. He's ultra stout, and he's ultra good in the way that he travels out of his hind leg. Is he necessarily the freshest in terms of his skull right now? No. Is he necessarily the sharpest in terms of his loin edge? Not necessarily, but I still think that's the one that you really got to land on here. The young lady with the other belted barrel here in the class is one I think you appreciate just for the practicality of shape and center body that one has to offer. Is that one necessarily as stout as the surface? No. And is that one necessarily handle its hind leg as well as our class winner? No, not necessarily, but I think that's the next best one in terms of just market fundamentals. And I think in this class particularly, I think that one offers plenty of good in terms of its structure to go ahead and be second. The other three out here, I think in their own right are very good in terms of their build, soft in terms of their skeleton, and ones that can cover the ring rather easily. But with that said, I just need to see them more pulled apart. I need to see a shot more shape with them. But I still think pigs in their own right that look like they fed pretty easy for these young sievers. Let's give all the kids in this class a nice round of applause. Great way to start our heavyweight barrel draft.
Results of Class 11 heavyweight market barrels, purple ribbon to Isaiah Rohr. Also purple ribbon to Laney Hoyer. Blue ribbon to Kyle Quinn, Grady Grab, and Madison Larson, all receiving blue ribbons. We're ready for Class 12 heavyweight market barrels. Class 12 heavyweight market barrels are entering the ring.
Nope, I can't see you. Where do you go?
Well, I think a class that there's maybe not one you just gravitate to, but I think there's a pair that are very similar in their type and kind, and with that, I think there's one that's probably a little better in terms of his cutability and overall composition right now, and that's the young man right here in front of me doing an awesome job getting this one presented. I think with that, too, that's one that stays square about his hock and one that offers just a little bit more reach and go. Is he necessarily a show barrow in terms of the way that he ties together out of his front end? Not necessarily, but I think one just just in terms of practicality and fundamentals, that's the one I'm going to go ahead and land on. Young man right here, you do an awesome job getting that one presented, and maybe one that, 30 days ago you really appreciate just for the moderation that one has to offer. Today, you really appreciate how overwhelmingly just massive and stout he is, but with that, I think some of that reads with a little extra bark and a little extra cover. He's one I just need to see a shot trimmer there about his point edge, and maybe a shot cleaner there about his jaw. And if you do that with that one, he's certainly one that pushes our class winner quite hard. He's just one that reads a little bit too far overdone for me today. There's a couple other ones out here. The two crossbreds there on the far side are ones that I just need to see better about the way they handle their hind legs and the way they come out of their hip and their hind leg structure. The solid white one's one that's really practical about his center body. Just need to see that one more pulled apart when you get on either end of them. Still a really nice class here. Let's congratulate those exhibitors on bringing these ones out to the fair.
Results of Class 12 heavyweight market barrels. Purple ribbon to Blake Wilkins. Purple ribbon also to Mason Stoddard. Blue ribbon to Jacob Beans. Blue ribbon to Allison Larson. And a blue ribbon to Hannah Mackey. Okay, we're ready for Class 13. Heavyweight market barrels entering the ring. At the conclusion of this, we will pick champion heavyweight market barrel at the conclusion of this class. At this time, I would call champion and reserve champion, middleweight and lightweight hogs to the ring.
The red belt here on my right is going to go ahead and win this class, and I think he combines the most good in terms of the way that he balances up shoulder back and offers freshness of shape, freshness of body, and yet still does that with probably the most turn in terms of his center body and the most spread that he offers when you leave him. I think that's just a nice place to start there. Is he necessarily perfect in the angle to his blade? No, but I think in this particular class he combines the most good out of the other two remaining out here. The other two out here in contention are the solid white one and the black-footed or the white-footed one out here. The young lady's showing, and I guess both of them I'd like to change just in the way that they leave you. I need to see more of them, and I need to see them more pulled apart. But with that, I think there's one that offers a little bit more feature and a little bit more turn to its center body, and I think that's the way we're going to go ahead and land on today. The black bear is going to be second. The white bear is going to go ahead and be third. I think those two young ladies did an awesome job presenting them. They're both running the same issue, and that they need to be a shot wider. fighter. The other two out here are ones you appreciate just for the center body, and they offer some shape and they offer some turn. I'm sure they'll be nice cutting pigs for these young individuals as you get them up on the rail, and with that, there's some value to that. Unfortunately, in the ring today, I just need to see more look about him. Maybe need to see him get out and grab another gear, and when you get off on either end of him, I need to see him more pulled apart. But with that, you still appreciate the practicality they offer for the weight that they're at. Let's give these givers a nice round of applause. A really good class here in this heavyweight division.
Results of Class 13 heavyweight Market Barrows. Purple ribbon went to Adeline Hillcamp. Second purple went to Alexis Warner. Third purple went to Addison Warner. Blue ribbons to Nathan Wilkins. And blue ribbon also to Melanie Godfrey. At this time in the ring, we'll be selecting champion heavyweight Market Barrows. Champion heavyweight Market Barrows in the ring.
Are you sure?
Well, let's give a round of applause to these heavyweight barrow exhibitors. I think they've all done an awesome job, and the quality of these six out here represents how good this division, I think, really was. When the boys and I were talking over here, I think it comes down to a pair of them, and they're the class winners out of the first two classes, I guess you could say, or the first class and that last class. The young man over here on that far right, I think one you really appreciate for the build that one has to offer. Ultra stout, and his hind leg's awesome. You maybe want to see that one a shot sharper there in terms of his turn to his center body, and I need to see that one when he comes at me better about his knee. But one you really appreciate for how stout and how rugged that one really is. That one that the red belted one here is one you really appreciate for how fresh he is for the weight that he's at, and he's better coming at you than the blue bear over there in the corner. But with that, I think he needs to travel better out of the way that he comes out of his shoulder, and needs to be set back there into the angle of his shoulder a little bit. And I guess it's tough between them, and they're different, and it's wherever you want to lay your priorities in the day. I'm not necessarily going to argue with them if you want to switch on me today, but the one I guess I feel the most comfortable with in terms of the way that he uses his hind leg is the blue bear right here is going to go ahead and be champion. Young lady with the red belt bear is going to go ahead and be reserved. Let's congratulate those two exhibitors.
Entering the ring now, we will select champion and reserve champion Market Barrow. At this time in the ring, we are selecting champion and reserve champion Market Barrow. Call class 14, progressive weight market gilts to the ring. Progressive market weight gilts to the ring, class 14.
Let's give all the barrow exhibitors a really nice round of applause. I think it's an incredible barrow show you guys have here for this level, and I think all these kids do an awesome job out here. It's close out here, and I know when we came out of that heavyweight division, we were excited to bring them back out here, and I guess speaking to me personally in the way that I like them, I like them to be a little bit fresher and sharp in the way that they look, and I guess that young man's heavyweight barrow's wanting to break down on them. But one, I think when you look back probably 20, 30 days ago, I think offered a lot of good in terms of just the way that he offered a really nice kind of hind leg and ultra stout about just today. I need to see that one a little bit fresher. And so with that said, it becomes down to that lightweight barrel and the middleweight barrel for Grand and Reserve for me. And I think the two behind them offer some quality, but I think the two that it comes down to are these two right here in front of me. And you need to change them. I know the lightweight barrel probably has a little ways to go in terms of his center body and the shape that you want to see in the one. But guys, that one from the side is ultra good in the way that one's put together. Has an awesome hind leg and an awesome look about him. The middleweight barrel is one you really appreciate shoulder back comparatively to that lightweight barrel. He's very good in terms of his cage, and maybe you would like to see him a shot better blade forward there in terms of freshness and neck and offer a little bit more look. But I think that one is very stout, just like that lightweight winner, one that's ultra good in terms of the way that he uses his hind leg. And I guess when it comes down to it, in just terms of market fundamentals for me, that's going to go ahead and be your champion. The lightweight barrel is going to go ahead and be reserved. Let's congratulate those two exhibitors on a really, really nice barrel show today.
Champion Market Barrow goes to Brielle Hildenkamp, and reserve champion goes to Tyler Thompson. Class 14 Progressive Weight Market Gilts. At this time, I would call Class 15 Progressive Market Gilts to the ring. Class 15 Progressive Market Gilts to the ring. Class 14 is entering the ring at this time. All of Class 14 Progressive Market Gilts are in the ring. Call Class 15 Progressive Market Gilts to the ring.
Well, the young man on my right over here with the belted gilt's going to go ahead and win this class. One that's ultra stout and ultra rugged about her appearance, and you really appreciate how stout that one is through form and how stout that one is about her hind leg. Probably the best in terms of her shape today. And is that necessarily a good thing? Not maybe not, but I think you appreciate that about her, that she already has that kind of mass and that kind of spread to her at the weight she's at. Certainly need to change that one about the way she uses her hind leg, but I think the sharpness that that one offers in terms of look and shape is where I'm going to go ahead and start with today. The young man over here on my left with the long hair is going to go ahead and be second. If that one was just pulled a little bit more, pulled apart, and a little stouter about her lower jaw, that certainly would be the one pushing our class winner. But with that today, you really appreciate her from the side. One that's awesome about the way that she uses her hind leg. Just got to see more of her. Same song and dance for the young man that's going to go ahead and be third right here. This one just maybe isn't as good about the turn and shape that one offers about her center body, but one that you really appreciate from the side. Again, second and third, just need to see more of them. I thought second just had a little bit more shape in terms of her center body about them. The other exhibitors out here do an awesome job with these gilts, and I think as they feed forward, they all read right about their structure, and they'll be able to practice kind of feeding hogs. Maybe just need to see them tweaked in a place or two in terms of structure. Maybe just offer a little bit more look and stoutness of feature, but I still think pigs in their own right that offer some good and should be good down the road for these exhibitors. Let's give this first class of crossbred pigs a nice round of applause as they head back to the barn.
Results of Class 14 Progressive Market Gilts. Purple ribbon went to Cole Booth. Second purple went to Grady Wilkins. Third purple went to Levi Blackford. Blue ribbons, Allison Larson. Madison Larson received a blue. And Allison Larson also received a blue. And there's one added to that class, Brody Wilkins. Class 15 Progressive Market Gilts. At the conclusion of this class, we will be selecting champion and reserve champion Progressive Weight Market Gilts.
I'm not going to make that up.
At this time, Class 15 is being evaluated by our judge. At this time, I'd like to make the first call for Class 16 Lightweight Market Gilts to the ring. Class 16 Lightweight Market Gilts to the ring.
Well, the young lady's blue gilt over here on the left is going to go ahead and be our class winner, and I think one you really appreciate for the proportions and moderation that that one has to offer. Ultra stout, ultra rugged. Probably need to see that one move a little bit better in the way that it handles its hind leg, but I still think for the shape and mass that that one offers, I think that's the one I'm going to go ahead and land on. Comfort's going to go to the one in second, the solid black gilt. The young man right here in the middle is going to go ahead and show one you really appreciate for that one's hind leg structure and how flexible that one really is. maybe not as overwhelming in terms of the center body and cage that our class winner has to offer, but one you appreciate for how sharp-headed and how good-looking that one is. Need to elevate that one in her front feet a little bit, but I still think a really nice place to go ahead and land in second there. The young lady that's circling over here on the far side of the ring is going to go ahead and be third. One that you appreciate for the shape and the spread that one has to offer. Maybe just doesn't match it with the softness of center body and the balance that I necessarily need to see from her. But one, I think from just a nice kind of practical build and a practical shape about one that should be easy feeding going forward for that young lady, I think that's just a nice place to go ahead and be three. The young man that ran over there behind her is going to go ahead and be four. I think one that kind of follows the same song and dance as the one directly ahead of her. Maybe just doesn't offer his most impressive turn there in terms of his center body and cage. Need to see that one a little bit more pulled apart when I leave her. The one in five is one that maybe was on the line for me, but one I really appreciate for the build that it has to offer, and it's the young man right here with the blue-eyed gilt on the far side of the fence. One you really like just for the hind leg that one offers and the build that one has to offer. Need to see that one with a shot more shape and turn there through its center body. Need to see that one a shot stouter about her lower jaw in order to match the hind leg and forearm that one has to offer. But still a really nice kind of gilt there that's going to go ahead and land in five in a really, really deep kind of class. Let's give all these givers a nice round of applause. Really, really nice way to end this Progressive Gilt Show.
Results of Class 15 Progressive Weight Market Gilts. Purple ribbon to Alexis Warner. Purple ribbon to Forrest Ewing. Purple ribbon to Ella Booth. Purple ribbon also to Oliver Ladahoff. And a purple ribbon to Grady Graff. Blue ribbon to Melanie Gondringer. Blue ribbon also to Johnny Hinton. Blue ribbon to Nathan Wilkins. Blue ribbon to Blake Wilkins. And in the ring right now is your champion and reserve selection of your champion and reserve champion Progressive Weight Market Gilts. Class 16 lightweight market gilts to the ring.
Well, I think a really, really good Progressive Gilt Show here. Let's give the exhibitors that brought one out today a nice round of applause. I think when it comes down to it, the boys and I are in total agreement that there's two out here that just offer a little bit more, and of the pair, I guess the one that went ahead and won that class was just a little bit stouter, and one I'd maybe like to see move a little bit better out of her hind leg, and the one in second is one that I appreciate just for the build and structure that one offers, and maybe just need to see more of her. The two heavyweights out of this particular division are going to go ahead and be your champion. The blue gilt's going to be champion here. The solid black one's going to be reserved. Let's congratulate those two exhibitors.
Champion and reserve champion Progressive Weight Market Gilts. Champion goes to Alexis Warner. Reserve champion to Forrest Ewing. Class 16 lightweight market gilts. This is the only class in the lightweight market gilt division. Just one class in the lightweight market gilt division.
Well, we only got one class here in the lightweight division, so I guess this will be your lightweight overall drive. And the two young ladies there on the far side are the two in contention for me. And I guess when it comes down to it, and I just start studying angles and watching them come at me in freshness of shape. The young lady over here with the white gilt is going to go ahead and win this division. One I think you need to change ever so slightly there in terms of the way that she uses her hind leg, and one that you'd like to see a shot stouter there. But I think freshness is in her favor, and I think that one comes at you more pulled apart about her chest and just offers a little bit more spread than the young lady solid black one here that's going to go ahead and be reserved, or second in this class, I should say. And you really appreciate the feature that this gilt has to offer. Ultra stout about her skull, and one that's still in her own right, offers some shape and offers some presence and look when she gets her going out from the side. One that wants to push and roll out of her back right a little bit, and one that reads a little bit more concave about her center body and her fore rib comparatively to our class winner, but still one you really appreciate just for the density and feature and overwhelmingness in terms of stoutness and structure that one has to offer. Young lady here in 3, I went ahead and gave you a purple ribbon because I feel like that one, if that one could just get out and go and would have sustained the probably travel here in terms of her injury, I think that's still a nice kind of gilt in her own right. Offers some freshness of shape, and probably comparatively to the two ahead of her, the best in terms of freshness blade forward. Really immature about her skull. I just, unfortunately, it reads like she got hurt a little bit, either here at the fair or rather recently, but I still think one you appreciate just for the freshness that one has to offer, and the young lady does an awesome job getting that one presented. Let's give those 3 exhibitors a really nice round of applause for a great way to start your gilt show.
Champion lightweight Martha Gilt goes to Alexis Warner. The reserve goes to Melanie Gonringer. And purple ribbon also to Brielle Hildenkamp. Brielle is walking out. Just for a little bit of announcement, we will give her an award later. That is your reserve champion, Carcass Hog. So let's give Brielle a nice round of applause for having reserve champion, Carcass Hog in that class.
But you just put it in her head. Probably try smiling today? Hey, I did go. No. Robert! And that one in there, why? Because it would pull away. You don't want that shit. Oh, no, it's so
think, a really good middleweight guilt division here. And the young man right here is going to go ahead and win. And I'm trying to make it quick for you there, sir, because I know she's not necessarily want to work with you the best. But I think she combines the most in terms of just structure, integrity, stoutness of feature, and shape in terms of that one's center body. And I know she's a sour attitude away from probably getting let out here a little early, but I think that's the one that I think needs to go ahead and win this division pretty easily for me. 2, 3, and 4 offer some sort here. There's things you want to change about all of them, and I guess I'm going to go with the one that I'm the most comfortable with in terms of just the way that she's built and the way that she's put together and the way that she bounces up, and that's the young lady on the far right over here. Is that one necessarily the most pulled apart? No. Is that one necessarily the most robust about its cage? No. But I think that one's very fresh about her head, very fresh about her skull, and offers some freshness and shape there through her center body, and does that in a package that leaves me comfortable in using her in terms of the way that her hind leg comes together. The young lady over here on the left is going to go ahead and be third. And honestly, you're a stouter form and a stouter hind leg from probably being second in this class. Unfortunately, I just need to see that one more proportional about the way that she matches her mass and shape that she has up high with the stoutness of feature and structure that you'd like to see down low. The solid black gilt's going to go ahead and be a fourth in this particular class and division, I guess you could say. One you appreciate for the shape and mass that one has to offer. Unfortunately, it comes with the sacrifice of her rear hock. She's one that wants to push out and roll out on that one a little bit. One that reads a little too short about her hip, and I need to change that about her in order to get her moved up. But one you appreciate the overall shape and mass that one has to offer. Really nice class here. Let's congratulate those exhibitors on a really solid middleweight division.
Results of class 17. Before she goes out of the ring, Hannah Mackey. Hannah, raise your hand. Hannah's the one that had champion Carcass, and that is the champion Carcass hog just going out the ring. Purple ribbon to Hayden Hageman. Purple ribbon to Avery Kamazine. Purple ribbon also to Lainey Hoyer. And purple ribbon also to Hannah Mackey. Blue ribbons went to Mason Stoddard. And blue ribbon also to Mason Rezak Meads. Also received a blue ribbon.
I'm not responsible for them. You need to be responsible. When I put all your ribbons from all your static exhibits in the aisle, you're not going to know what those are for. No, you won't. And just in the years, like that. I don't know exactly what I got. Charlie has a... Look at that, she has lots of things in her elbow. No. And Kylie had ended her room. Oh, you're too late.
If Hannah Mackey and Brielle Hildenkamp would make their way up to the announcer stand, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Your cousin. That's one. No, you guys can leave it to already dabbed by his lunch. So, we'll stay here. I am telling you, okay, what's great? Okay, both of you, I want that. I got it, right? Don't. I got it.
Okay, right now in front of the announcer stand, we are going to present a couple of awards. Riel Campry, leave your hand. Riel is your reserve champion carcass for the hog show. Let's give Riel a round of applause. And your champion carcass, hog carcass, is Hannah Mackey. So let's give Hannah a round of applause too. The hogs were scanned when they got checked in, and these were the two participants in that contest. So if you two want to go over here in front of the banner, we'll take a quick picture.
Well, I'm currently getting my master's in meat science down at K-State, and so I think that's pretty cool that you guys do your carcass contest still here, because unfortunately at Black County we got away from that, and I still think that brings quite a bit of fun to the fair and offers some opportunity for some other pigs to necessarily get a piece of something. But with that here, jumping into our heavyweight drive, these two gilts over here are the decision for me, and with that I think there's one that stays stouter and more comfortable about her hind leg, and that's this young man's right here in front of me. I think that one is just the one that I land on just in terms of build and the way that that one uses its form and the way that that one can just cover the ring in a more comfortable manner. And her center body and turn there is very good. Is she necessarily the sharpest there in terms of her edges? No. And that's where the young lady that's going to be in second has the advantage there. But I think that one's structural integrity is just where I'm going to go ahead and land. The young lady, you really appreciate that one in terms of freshness of shape up high, and that one's overall hip and spread that one has to offer. It's when I get directly behind her, I got to change that one. I got to square that one up. And with that though, I still think of the remaining other ones out here. I think that's the one that still falls in the second, just in terms of the way that one comes together in terms of look from the side, as well as that one's freshness of shape. 3 and 4 is a little bit of a decision, you could say, as well. And I guess for me, it's probably going to be a little bit goofy when I tell you 4 is, but 3 is going to be the young lady over here. And I think she's one that does an awesome job getting that gilt presented. One that you really appreciate for the center body and depth of body that one has to offer. Very good looking, appreciative kind of gilt in the way that she can travel and get out and move. Just need to see that one a little bit stouter at the surface in order to move up any higher. But the young lady does an awesome job getting that one stuck, and I think she should be commended for that. And like I said, guys, while I'm a show pig guy, I appreciate some parts and pieces on one when I see it. And this young man's level there, ear gilt right here, is one I really appreciate for how big and how flexible that one's hind leg is. And with that, she still offers some shape, and she still offers some shape comparatively to a couple other ones out here. But I think one that still needed to grab a purple ribbon just for the practicality of build and the awesome hind leg that one has laid in her. The young man did an awesome job getting that one stuck. Maybe just needed to see a shot more turn there in terms of that one's center body. Sharpen that one up a little bit late forward, and he certainly could have moved higher for this judge. But I think the rest of them out here, these young exhibitors, doing an awesome job getting them stuck. Certainly excited to work through your final gilt drive out here. Let's give all the exhibitors out here to give them a round of applause for bringing out a heavyweight gilt.
Results of Class 18 heavyweight market gilts. First purple went to Isaiah Rauch. Second purple went to Melanie Gonringer. Purple ribbon to Oakley Sheets. Purple ribbon also to Brent Lorentzen. Blue ribbon to Pat Bradley Grab, and a blue ribbon to Jacob Beans. At this time, we will be selecting so their champion and reserve champion heavyweight would be Isaiah and Melanie. So at this time, we are going to select champion and reserve champion Market Gill. And I would ask that champion and reserve champion, champion and reserve champion Barrow would return to the ring for the selection of grand champion and reserve grand champion Market Hall.
Well, I think an awesome guild show that you guys have here, and I think all these out here that come out of their respective classes and divisions, you could say, do an awesome job in representing those weights and particular maturity that they probably should have at those ages. Let's give all those exhibitors a nice round of applause out here for a really solid kind of guild show. I won't take much time here in this grand drive because one, I'm not one to talk, and two, I know it's going to get warm today. So with that, I think there was a pair of them that came out of the division out here. While they're different, I just think they're the best ones out here. The two heavyweights are going to go ahead and be grand and reserve. Let's congratulate those two exhibitors. At this time, we're selecting champion Market Hog, the Guilds Against the Barrows, and at this time I would make first call for Class 1 open class hogs to the show ring. Class 1 open class hogs to the show ring. Well, as a guest, you bring the grand drive out here, your grand reserve barrow and guild. I think it's it's an awesome county fair you guys got here, and these exhibitors out here should be commended with a nice round of applause, I think, for doing an awesome job getting these things presented. I'll be honest with you, the boys and I have honestly been in tune all day, and then I walk over there and they're telling me about 1,000 different things in my head, and I was like, all right, fellas, I'm going to do this one on my own because I feel pretty comfortable about the one I'm going to use to win, and then after that you can maybe have a little bit of discussion between them. I guess the one that we're going to use to win, I just love the proportions of this one, and I think he combines the freshness of the two that are going to be, I guess, behind him that are in contention for reserve, and does that with an ultra stout, ultra flexible kind of hind leg, and just has so much good in terms of the way that the balance that one has to offer. Reserve was awfully close, and they read with completely different maturity types and patterns. One's a lot stouter, ultra stout in terms of the way that one can travel and still maintain flexibility for the size that one is, and yet there's another one out here that's so ultra cool in the way that one's presented. Love that one's build, and love that one's hind leg, and love the way that one reads in terms of just maturity pattern and freshness. And so I guess as I talk through them out here on the mic, the two I feel most comfortable using are the Barrows. Young lady, you'll be champion. Young man, you'll be reserved. Let's congratulate those two exhibitors.
Champion Margaret Hogg to the 2022 Washington County Fair held at Hilton Camp, and reserve goes to Tyler Thompson. give them a round of applause. Selecting the first class, open class hogs, I'd like to call second class of open class hogs of the ring. And at this time, I would also like to, the clock has started for you to turn in your packets for the sale on tomorrow at 3 o'clock. It is 10:45 right now. We have until 12 o'clock noon to turn them in to either myself, one of the committee members, or over here to the Fair Board office. Needs to be turned in by 12 o'clock to get your packet in. If you have any questions, ask myself, or ask the Fair Board office, or any of the committee members can point you to me. So, or I think, Buck Hoyer, you're back there in the barn, you can take care of some of that too. So.
Well, as we jump into the open show here and get all the kids out here, this is certainly a lot of fun, and I think all 4 of these offer some quality, and these kids are doing an awesome job getting them stuck. And I know this young lady over here isn't necessarily having an awesome day here. I think we turned her attitude down there or turned around here just a minute or two ago, and she gave me a smile, and I like to see that because this is a lot of fun to be showing at the fair. I was instructed to talk 4 to 1 here, so we'll start at the bottom and work our way up. And young lady, you're going to go ahead and be 4 with that one. I think one that's really practical about his build, good in terms of his structure. I just need to see more of that one and have that one more pulled apart. But I think with time, young lady, that one will come along for you, and you do an awesome job getting that one stuck. Second and third are completely different in their type and kind, and I guess you can flip a coin here for the maturity pattern, which one you want to feed. But the one I'm going to go ahead and put in third here is this young man right here. You really like the extension and look and the late maturity pattern that one has to offer. Today, I maybe just need to see that one better in terms of a lower rib fill comparatively to the one that's going to go ahead and be second. But I think down the road, that one could certainly move its way up in this class comparatively to the other two out here. The blue barrel, this young lady's doing an awesome job getting stuck. He's going to go ahead and be second. One that's a little probably quicker and reads a little quicker about his maturity pattern. But I think his extra feature and stoutness is why he's going to go ahead and land in second today. Good in terms of his shape, and I think if you just tone that one down a little bit as he goes down the road, I think that's the one that could still be a nice kind of project for that young lady, moderate, easy feeding kind going forward. That leaves us with the belted barrow there on the far side. He's the one that likes to cover the ring here. He's got an extra gear and an extra speed, and I think that speaks to his hind leg and how flexible and comfortable he is out here. And with that, he probably still opens and manages with the most shake there on the back side of his blade and offers the most upper hip and offers the most turn there about his forehip. And so I think he's just the one I land on in terms of just the combination barrow of the drive. But I think all 4 of these kids do an awesome job out here. Let's give them a nice round of applause here in this first class of the Open Show.
Results of Class 1 Open Class Hog Show. First place went to Marion McDonald. Second place went to Addison Wilkins. Third, Dallin McDonald. And then fourth place went to Esmond Shear. Okay, we're ready for Class 2. Open Class Market Hogs. At the conclusion of this class, all open class showmen need to come to the announcer stand to get their awards.
Remy, you look a little hot.
give these young kids a little bit more time out here. Fellas, we got one on the... Want to give a little bit more time out here, I guess, to get their project shown, because that's what it's really about out here. And again, we'll work from 6th to 1st, and I think all these kids are doing an awesome job out here. I guess going ahead and starting in 6th place is going to be this young man over here in the corner. He's got a really nice kind of just white barrel there that's just practical in its center body. Maybe needs to be a shot sharper in terms of shape. Maybe needs to be a shot stouter there at the surface. Was one you really appreciate just for the easy feeding look that one had to offer for that young gentleman. The one in that's going to go ahead and fall in the 5th here is going to be this young blonde-haired boy in the blue. Oh, no, right here, blue, right here. I think one that kind of fits the same mold as that barrel in 6th, but just comes with a little bit more. I think he offers a little bit more in terms of his cage, offers a little bit more in terms of the way. Right here, buddy. Offers just a little bit more in terms of his shape that he has to offer, and maybe he's a hind leg injury away from possibly moving up in this class. I think one for that one's body type's awfully nice. The top 4, they offer some different pieces, and I guess the one that just fits next best to me in terms, or is going to fall in the 4th for me in terms of maturity pattern, is going to be this young lady right here. One that maybe reads a little bit too quick for me, but ultra stout, ultra rugged, and you really appreciate that for that young lady, and she does an awesome job getting that one stuck. 2nd and 3rd was a decision for me and the boys, and I guess as we watch them and just step off from the side here, I think it became a little bit more apparent that this young lady's going to have to go ahead and be 3rd over here. That's one you really appreciate for the shape, and the front 3/4 of that one is awfully nice for a pig at this level, and just really practical about her center body. Good turn there, nice kind of foot and bone underneath that one. Just need to see that one leveler about her hip and tail set there, and one you maybe like to see with it just a little bit more when she drives directly away from you. The one that's going to go ahead and be 2nd today is the white bearer over here. One that you really appreciate from the side. Ultra good in terms of its balance, very good in terms of its center body shape, and the young man does an awesome job getting that one stuck. Really good about its maturity pattern. One that you really appreciate a lot of things about. Maybe you'd like to see that one a shot stouter at the surface. And with that said, though, I think it's going to just speak to the one that's going to go ahead and win this particular division as to why this one's going to go ahead and fall in 2nd, even though he's a really nice kind of pig. Young man over here on my left is going to go ahead and win this particular jive, and I think he does so rather quickly for me when that one hit the ring. Good job, buddy. One that you really appreciate for the cage and upper hip that one has to offer. Ultra stout kind of hind leg, really proportional about the way that one comes together. Just the one that hits you as the show pig of the drive, and yet maintains out here quite well. And the young man does an awesome job getting her stuck. I think that was just a really nice kind of way to win this open show division. Let's congratulate all these young kids out here. Did an awesome job, and it was certainly fun being out at the fair here for you guys.
Results of Class 2, champion went to Rhett Rosenbaum. Reserve went to Hayes Hoyer. 3rd place went to Riley Nelson. Nelson. 4th place went to Brianna Sheets. 5th went to Brayson Meads. And 6th place went to Clayton Kavanowski. And at this time, I would really like for everyone to put their hands together and thank our judge, Lane Eggers, coming from Columbus for the Hawk Show. Thank you, Lane. Oh, and then we also want to thank Briggs and Kane for helping the judges too today. So let's give them a round of applause.
No! Wait, just have it right in your mouth. Don't bother me.